like a triangle, right? Okay, so you have your root node, and then it has 2 children.
Okay.
So the problem set said to get rid of any children that are only zeros.
Okay.
So I had to recursively find all the children that were only zeros and prune them. Set them to nothing. So that way.
To what end?
To solve the problem.
Does this have something to do with programming?
Yeah, it's all programming.
Because that's funny. It sounds like it has something to do with children.
It's not just recreational math.
Yeah, it's recreational programming.
That's weird right there. Recreational programming.
Well, you got to how do you keep your skill set sharp for your job?
I smoke cigars.
You are like practically a politician at this point.
You're right. I smoke cigars and make deals. That's how I keep my
dealing, puffing.
You're going to like the feeling when Big Pete's a dealing.
I did not like that. Unsubscribe.
I thought it was smooth, family friendly, family oriented. All right, now hold on just one second. I have got to blow my nose.
Okay. Yeah, do that. All right, very good. Well, so nice to have everybody. Guess who's here? We have a surprise guest.
Hello.
I didn't know I was surprising.
You're always surprising, hon. Always
surprising. It's surprising that you're forcing yourself to be in the sound booth.
That is surprising, mostly because I love my husband enough to not fight with him all day. It's also surprising when I stop doing yard work to come in.
Right. It's hotter than fucking Satan's ballsack out right now.
How hot is Satan's ballsack?
Hot enough that I've been inside 20 minutes and I still look like a lobster. So.
It's at least 91 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's the temperature of Satan's ballsack. 91 degrees.
About 87% humidity. That's the sweat.
Oh, it's humid in there. It's humid in those drawers. Those fallen angelic drawers.
Moist crotch going on.
Right. Those asbestos-lined drawers that the devil owns. All right, good. Well, glad we're here. At least we have a quorum for sure. So we're going to get started. Wow. My harmonica.
Did the train deflate? Is that what happened?
I don't know, man. This harmonica is, I probably should have tapped the spit out of it before I quit last time. Let's try it again. Welcome to a Shin Show. I'm your host, Pete Shin, live from the greater Maryland area, joined by my wife, Elsie. Hello, wife, Elsie.
Hi, and I would like to congratulate you on making a harmonica make noise I've never heard.
Oh, thank you very much. We're also joined from the greater Nebraska area. See, I'm not disclosing specific locations anymore. If you want that, you can go back and go into our old podcast. But we're
when you say the greater area, what does that mean? Does that mean like the largest population area?
It just means somewhere in Nebraska. That's what it means.
Okay.
Yeah. Go Big Red. Anyway, that's Nick, son Nick. Yeah. And joined by recreational programmer Sara. Hello, Sara.
Hello.
All right. A lot of news this week. A lot of news today, matter of fact. But before we get into all that, how was your week?
Well, the power went out at the office last night, so that sucked. That means I was up till 2 a.m. trying to make sure everybody could still work. And also that, our data integrity didn't fail. So that sucked. Other than that, our week was good.
All right, good. So your data still has integrity. It's honest. It's forthright. It's trustworthy.
Well, the workers are working. So sure.
The data don't lie, big boy.
Well, if it has integrity, it doesn't.
Well, no, actually there's problems on the management side, but the workers are still able to work. So that's all that matters until Monday.
Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that. Well done. Nick, how was your week?
It was definitely a week. I feel like I did something, but I can't remember. Oh, well, we'll get into it later. I saw a movie last week that I didn't talk about last week.
And now it's time to bring it up.
Yeah, I botched
Ruminated.
it. Yeah, I botched it. Didn't mention it last time.
No. You just let it simmer.
Yeah, I guess. I let it age like a fine cheese.
Right. Like toe cheese.
Yes.
No, not like that.
Of which there's bountiful amounts.
Oh.
Always is. You never clip your toenails enough. That's well known about you.
Anyway. Actually,
Yeah.
I just did the other day because I realized I don't want to put
What,
socks
being
on
out?
anymore. You know what I mean? In this kind of heat, I just want to slide into some flip flops, and it's
Right.
hard to do that and go out in public when people are genuinely afraid for their life that I might gore them with my excessively long nails.
It's true. That will really put the fear of God into people. When
The fear of a velociraptor, I'd like to think, but
yeah, you do get those velociraptor toenails.
some about my nails, dude, and not just my toenails, but also my fingernails. They just grow so fast.
Oh, it's
So
you.
long.
It's because you're not done growing yet. You're a grown boy.
Okay.
It's really because you're part velociraptor.
and because you're part velociraptor.
That's what they told me at the Dinosaur Museum, and that's what I'm going with. I base all my medical knowledge off the Dinosaur Museum.
How did you escape the dinosaur museum once they realized that you should have been part of the exhibit?
Well, I don't know. They were very generous in their release of small unattended boys in their.
They tagged you, didn't they?
I was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, clearly. All right, so you saw a movie. Good. Not this past week, but the week before, and then some other things happened this week.
I feel
Obviously.
like some other shit happened, but I can't remember, so doesn't matter.
Well, something interesting to me happened this week. I saw the STP-2 launch from Cape Canaveral, which was the third Falcon Heavy launch ever. And
I was wondering if you went down there.
yeah, I went down there, saw it. Took off about 3:30 in the morning. It's cool. Or 3 in the morning. I don't know. It's late.
Did you get any pictures?
I did. Would you
I
like to?
feel like we've never explicitly stated what a Falcon Heavy launch is.
It's a Falcon Heavy. It's a type of rocket that SpaceX produces. It's, in fact, 3 Falcon 9s kind of lashed together. So it's got, I don't know, something along the order of 27 Merlin engines or something like that, or 31 Merlin engines. Or yeah.
To the purpose of what Elon's just putting them in space? Is that?
Well, in this particular case, it was a launch for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the United States Air Force. Those were the 2 primary customers. There were some other customers, but that's what the launch was for.
Damn, he's making bank.
Well, he's
Already richer than God.
Well, I mean, he wasn't always like that. He had to get those fat contracts first.
Well, first he had to be born, right?
Yeah,
and
that's true.
then he had to grow up,
That's step 2.
right? Then he had to emigrate to America. So he
Immigrant to America.
Immigrant to America.
right. And then
As one does.
right. So I mean, getting across that river was no picnic for him. I know that. And then was probably interned for a while. And then anyway, somehow
Separated from his family.
somehow he got through all that though and managed to form a successful company. Good on Elon.
Good on you, Lon. I call him Lon because we're cool like that. Lon for short.
Really? Because I just call him E.
Right.
Easy.
Well, no, we don't want to get into copyright territory.
Right.
Well, you just do it with an S like it's actually spelled instead of a Z. I think.
Oh,
I see.
EC.
Because I just refer to him.
No, just easy. I mean, you can't just copyright the way a word sounds, can you?
I don't know.
Probably can.
Yeah, I really don't know at all. So
I'm no expert on copyright law. I just know I call him Muskie. Hi, Muskie.
Nobody likes that.
he
No.
likes that.
He does. He loves it. Anyway,
So nothing that interesting happened in my week, unless you count all the things at work that nobody wants to hear about. But I must say that, Sarah, you are looking amazing. Like, it looks like the weight's just running away from you.
Well, thanks.
Oh, you guys have a camera?
Jealous over here.
yeah, we're peeping you, yo. Every time.
This is a new development, right?
That's weird.
Vaguely. Fairly.
Not even.
They've
Not
had a
even
camera for a while, but I don't know how long they've been able to see us. How long have you been able to see us?
Literally the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been kind of counting on the fact that you weren't able to see me and what I was doing while I was speaking. So
No, I mean, you've looked like shit and you've done some pretty
Yeah.
various things.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
question
embarrassing.
about that. But,
Some murder in the background.
right.
I mean, you can always just assume there's some kind of murder going on, whether it's insectoid, mammalian, reptilian,
Toenail.
avian, toenail, fungal.
Innocent.
Yeah. Because you've done good. So how are your toes looking? Can you show me your toes right now?
Yeah, don't do this.
I
Yeah.
know.
Why wouldn't you? Oh, man, those look great. Those are good looking toes.
Note the flexibility.
Note
He says grunting.
So were those your Coke nails? Is that why they were so long?
Yeah, see, I wanted to switch it up in my 1989 Coke field days as a Wall Street broker. Some people keep their pinky nail real long. I just keep every single nail on my toes long, so I can just kind of use my foot as a shovel.
Right.
And then
Did note the
then I use my acrobatic skills to just dump it directly like a backhoe into my nose
Oh,
from the top.
Oh man.
And I do that with food and water and pretty much everything.
Right. Anything you need to put into.
so how are you going to feed yourself now?
With my hands, presumably, like a normal human being, but
Do you
I'm gonna
remember
need
how?
some rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
classes.
Occupational therapy, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. All right. Well, good. Well, it sounds like a pretty darn busy week for everybody. But in any case, so here's some news. President Trump today met with Kim Jong-un at the demilitarized zone and then strolled into North Korea. First U.S. president to do that, well, I think ever.
Well, good for him making history.
Yay!
The boys are back in town. That's the song they were playing as President Trump walked in through the militarized zone.
I heard only 2 stories about Trump this week, and they both made me blindingly angry. So, I don't. Well, I don't know. It's just he said something. Was this G20 that he was at? Is that the thing?
Yeah, he went to the G20 and then he swung by to hook up with his, look.
Al.
Yeah, well, they wrote letters to each other and they fell in love. I'm quoting President Trump here. I'm
When
not.
some say love, it is a flower.
So if Kim Jong-un is Trump's type, does that mean he'll rape him?
Oh, snap.
They might have what I affectionately refer to as a rape fight.
To establish dominance.
Yeah, where they both kind of
Nuclear
just
surety.
they start off just kind of circling each other, slowly disrobing, and then whatever happens. But
Right.
there is a winner and there is a loser.
We call that a struggle snuggle.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that is the other story, of course, this week that kind of landed with a thud. It came and immediately went, which is the not complaint, but the written story of, I can't remember her name now. See, this is how quickly these things go. It's become so de rigueur, but a former New York,
A person.
a person,
A
a
lady.
human,
Definitely a person.
a human being who said basically that Trump raped her in Bergdorf Goodman's shopping center. About
Yeah.
Well,
I
he
heard
was-
about that
he
as
was-
well.
He was implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein trial or whatever, and nothing came of that either. So, why
Well-
are we surprised?
yeah, well, why are we surprised indeed?
It's disgusting, but what are you going to do?
Well,
Besides get out and vote for your people that hopefully will replace him.
but this is one of the reasons, I really honest to God believe this is one of the reasons that Hillary Clinton was so unacceptable to people, is her vociferous defense of Bill Clinton over these exact same kind of allegations, which were also most likely true.
Okay, maybe.
What about Tommy Wynette, Stand By Your Man? What other choice did she have?
Well, look,
Well,
I never
we all
said that
know.
Hillary Clinton was perfect, and I totally understand the unpalatableness. I mean, people were going to hate her anyway for a whole host of reasons. But if you don't vote for your candidate, then the other candidate wins.
Well, it shouldn't
just saying.
be like that. I think that's
No,
a
it
flaw
shouldn't.
in the system where it's like you have to vote for one person solely for the purpose of the other person not winning.
Sure, it
That
shouldn't have to be
your
that
two
way,
choices.
but it is that way. So you can either
Okay,
work
well,
with the system or
yeah, well, that's what I think we need to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, this isn't just something that has a very clear answer and that can be executed overnight. But I feel like it's a broken system. It's like it's the old Pepsi or Coke system, and then it's like you don't even like Pepsi anymore, but you sure as shit hate the people who like Coke, so you're just gonna vote for Pepsi every time because that's what you do. That's what your team. That's your tribe.
Yeah, but here's the bigger point to me. The bigger point to me is that we still are not where we need to be in this country regarding rape culture, regarding respect for women, regarding violence against women. We're not where we need to be. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Oh.
I agree.
Brings up an excellent point. Here's the news story of the week I found fascinating. A 5-month pregnant woman in Alabama got into an altercation, was shot in the stomach. The baby died, and she's being held for manslaughter. Not the woman who shot her.
Well, we talked about this quite a bit actually, because
Who's
Murphy and I talked about this, and then I talked about it with some of my other friends. First of all, the most abhorrent thing about the Alabama law is that the woman can be tried for a fetus's death regardless of the fetus's viability. That is disgusting to me.
Seems not sciencey.
Yeah.
Seems like they're not taking it.
In this particular instance, the pregnant woman started the fight. She got shot, I guess, in self-defense. Like the one who shot her was shooting her in self-defense, apparently. And so the thought process was, well, she brought the baby to a knife fight and the baby died. Shouldn't she be responsible for that? Which, I mean, do you defend self-defense laws or not?
Look, fetuses have got to learn to defend themselves.
Right.
Right now, none of this would have, listen to me, none of this would have happened if she'd have given that fetus a gun. Am I right?
It's true. Nothing stops a bad guy with a gun like a good fetus with a gun.
You know that.
In utero gun laws, where are they?
That's a song as old as time.
Yeah, making light of a dead fetus. That's sad. All right. Anyway, sorry about your loss for the lady who lost her fetus, I guess. I mean,
it's really the fact that she's now going to prison.
And there are many, I feel like, look, things get diluted in police reports, and then they get diluted even further in the media's coverage of them. Like, we have no fucking idea what really happened.
Well, I'll tell you what is real, is the verbiage of the law that says a woman can be prosecuted for her fetus's death, regardless of viability. If you have a stillborn child, you can go to prison.
Right. That is atrocious. It's atrocious. It's not, that shouldn't be.
But that's not really what happened here.
That's a regression of fucking, what's the word?
Human rights?
Human rights and social...
Progression?
Yeah. A regression of social progression. Whatever. Either way, the point is we don't know the whole thing. That bitch could have been, that pregnant lady could have hit.
Yeah, that's a better way. Times. Yeah, that's a better way of describing her than that bitch. Pregnant.
Sorry. Yeah. Force a habit. Whatever.
But she was a bitch.
Well, for all we know, she could have hit the PCP a couple of times and went crazy and started swinging on some armed lady at a Walmart. I don't think that's what happened. But, just...
So the story is, this lady she got in the fight with was the ex-girlfriend of the baby daddy. So, like, out in the Dollar General, like, he used to be with my man. No, he's my man. You know how that scene goes down. So, really, like, why the fuck she can be the victim of being shot and yet be the murderer is just mind-blowing.
Well, the other lady... is getting charged too, right?
Nope.
No, self-defense.
Nope.
Well, she shot the other woman in self-defense.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, regardless of whether or not it was an intelligent move for her to pick a fight as a pregnant woman in a Dollar fucking General, that does not necessarily equate to her just deserving a negligent homicide charge. These are just the initial charges, though. We'll see what happens in the trial. If she gets a good lawyer, he could be like,
she's black and poor. She's not going to have a good lawyer.
I don't know. I'm thinking about taking on the case. I mean,
she's black and poor. She's not going to have a good lawyer.
I mean, I've never passed the bar as such, but I've been in several bars, and I figure, hey, how hard can it be?
Well, you are a middle-class white man, so you stand a good chance.
I watched the 30 for 30 on O.J. Simpson, and I saw, Rob Kardashian and the other one.
Right.
I can do that.
Right, exactly. Lee Marvin, whatever his name was. Yeah, Johnny Cochran. Yeah. Yeah, I can just go down there and say, look, if the fetus fits, you must quit.
That's right. I know that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of news. Oh, some sad news. I mean, as if the news that we've shared thus far hasn't been sad enough. But did you hear about that poor gal from California flies out back home to Salt Lake City, takes a lift out to a park, gets into a car with a guy and gets killed? Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. Yeah. I'm sure shit like that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, people are abhorrent.
So it was like a guy who pretended to be her Lyft driver?
No. The Lyft driver was actually cleared. It's actually unknown who it really was.
Oh, so she was probably messaging some guy, and it was like, "Let's meet at the park."
Yes, exactly. That's what they think it was. And then so they show, the Lyft driver drops her off.
All right.
It's the Lyft driver drops her off, sees her get in the car with this other guy, and then she turns up dead.
They found her body, though.
Oh, they did. Well, they found parts of her body because the dude that they arrested burned it, and parts of her effects, and so on. This is the case of
at least
Mackenzie Luke. Rest in peace.
Yeah. At least she's. I don't mean to. I was gonna say if they hadn't found the body and she's just missing, who fucking knows what's being done to her? But at least it's.
No, it's confirmed. Yeah.
I will say this. Here's the last thing I had to bitch about Trump is that he said that he knows about climate change, but he's not willing to do anything about it because he doesn't want to hurt businesses' profits, which we knew, but for him to have the audacity to come out and say it was really appalling to me.
Actually, in a way, I feel better about him saying it because we do all know it to be true, right? So that might be the first honest fucking thing he's said.
Yeah, but honesty means nothing in this.
Well, what do you want? What do you want? You want him to be honest, or
I want him out of the White House is what I want.
Well, he ain't going nowhere for a little bit, so we got to figure out, I
don't know. I guess
what's acceptable.
I guess the truth is better than the endless parade of horseshit lies that are easily, disproven, but still keep pouring out of his mouth anyway.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I never liked the guy even before he was president. I just thought he was kind of like a scumbag. But the world is still turning. I don't think anything serious has changed in our lives due to this guy being president.
So,
I beg to differ.
Principles that are being violated.
Like us personally?
It's the precedents that are being set. No, we're setting up.
I'm not trying to defend the guy. I'm just trying to remind everybody that we should just not get too stressed about it because it's happening. So
let me put it this way: nothing has happened to affect our lives personally yet.
Well, I do know the one thing is that for not having health insurance, I didn't get fined this year.
The bigger issue here is
congratulations.
Trump has the opportunity to appoint these Supreme Court justices, and the Supreme Court is the most long-standing, stable part of our government. They're supposed to be the ones that make shit,
They're the ones with life terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the fact that he has all this power to say who's going to sit on that, and then you've got these bullshit laws like what are going on right now in these states being passed. I mean, there are some serious ramifications.
But can another president take Supreme Court justices off the panel?
No, he cannot. He can only.
But we got a lot of old justices on the panel right now.
All right. Well, so then in that case, how many Supreme Court justices? There's 9?
There aren't.
How many did Trump put on the panel?
Thus far, 2.
Okay.
Out of 9.
So 2 of them reached their point in their lives where we're done being Supreme Court justices, and so it was up to Trump to pick 2 guys.
That's correct.
Now, mind you,
well, he could have picked a woman.
Yeah, one of them was supposed to be Obama's choice, but Congress fucked that up. Thanks, Congress.
Well, so before we get too far down into the weeds, let me just say this. Let me tell you some of the ways that your life has changed with Trump as president. Number 1, the markets have hit all-time highs. Number 2, there's been a massive tax cut, mostly that has benefited business and those of high net worth individuals, but also has benefited in small ways almost every American. When I say small, we're talking in the tens of dollars. But the fact of the matter is that the Trump administration, with help from the Republican-controlled Congress, has given the economy a massive economic stimulus at a time when arguably it didn't require one. Now, that's resulted in record low unemployment and record high markets. So this is one of the key reasons why it is, unless the economic picture changes, the likelihood of Trump getting reelected, I would put it at about 80%.
Yeah, I would. I'd agree. Theo Vaughn had. You guys saw The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Of course.
That guy Jordan Belfort, who is now out of prison and running his own business again, was on Theo Von's podcast, and I was listening to him. Let me just say a couple things. First off, I can tell that dude used to do a lot of coke when he was younger, or he may still be on it. I don't know.
How can you tell? Just the rapidity with which he speaks?
Yes, that's exactly correct. And he loves Trump. Well, he doesn't like him, but he's like, look, dude, like, I'm just trying to run a business, okay? There's a sweet spot where, like, I'm not making too much money, but I'm not stealing from anybody else. He's like, I used to be like, yeah, if a guy who makes $50 million a year loses $200,000, then what's the big deal? I get now that that's not okay. So I'm trying to run my own business, and Trump's kind of like the best thing for me to get my business started up right now. So I'm voting for that dude.
That's the reality for a whole group of people. Now, that leaves out tens of millions of people for whom the economy has not really improved because their wage hasn't improved, because health insurance has only become more expensive for them. Costs have gone up, but their wages haven't increased to keep up with the pace of inflation. And that's why people like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, the Democratic challengers, Pete Buttigieg and others, have a message that is resonating with millions of particularly young people who have, $1.6 trillion in college debt.
Quite.
So
Now,
what you're telling me is that they should all just start businesses. That's what I'm hearing.
Well,
yeah. Why not?
More or less. Sure. Yeah.
I got some interesting trivia I read this week that I'd like to share with you.
We're ready.
Ready? So, L. Ron Hubbard's first wife discovered 2 love letters the Scientology founder had written to 2 different women in the couple's outgoing mail. And so she switched the envelopes and sent them.
Oh, how clever.
Like a boss.
Yeah. That's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
It's like a little twist.
Right. So each of his lovers got the letter designated for the other lover.
Yeah. Because of his wife. Man, L. Ron Hubbard was fucking slanging it, dude.
He was very charismatic.
I
How
guess.
else do you start a religion?
Yeah, money.
One follower at a time. No, you don't need no money you don't need no money. No, you just need a dogma.
Hey, did you guys ever see the movie Hereditary?
No. Is that the movie you saw?
No. I saw Aladdin in fucking.
TJ was telling us about Hereditary.
What is the goddamn word I'm looking for? Live action Aladdin.
Okay, got it.
Is that Fatso the Catso?
That's Fatso the Catso on your TV screen. She's trying to get into the sound booth. We're not letting her in.
The Survivor.
That's
It's
right.
pretty adorable, though.
Yeah. Anyway, Hereditary was a horror movie. That was pretty good. But they're making another movie. It's called... Huh?
TJ hated it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, Taylor was like, oh my God, the people who made Hereditary are making this other movie. And I was like, what the fuck is Hereditary? And she's like, we went and saw it in the theater. I was like, I've never seen that movie in my life. It's like, it was just you and me in the theater. We went and saw it. And I was like, not ringing
That
any
did not happen.
She explained the whole plot, and I still didn't get it until she showed me the trailer. And then I was like, oh, yeah. So, like, I don't remember hating that movie, but I couldn't remember it for shit. So take that as you will. But anyway, they're making this other movie that comes out on Tuesday called Midsummer.
Oh, yeah. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, the trailer. I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty fucking cool. So
It does. So, but you, on the other hand, you don't remember Hereditary. These are the people that do the unmemorable Hereditary. Now,
well, when I saw the trailer, that's exactly what I thought. Like, the same people who made this completely unmemorable movie are making this other movie, which will probably be unmemorable. But when I saw the trailer, it all sparked. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
All right. So, what are you saying? That we should go see this other movie? What's this?
Midsummer. It's like a scary movie.
It's not like a psychological horror movie. It's
a psychological horror movie. I think you should watch it, or watch the trailer at least.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for the trailer, if nothing else. So,
down for that pre-trailer, boy.
Yeah. So, what were your thoughts about the Aladdin live-action adventure?
It was not.
All Disney live-action movies suck.
Wow.
I think the Lion King will probably be better.
Exactly, because it's not real people. But putting in real people, no, sorry.
Yeah, instead of cartoons. They just changed a bunch of shit. I'm like, why? Okay, if you're going to make a live-action remake, just make it line for line what the first one was. Like, you have the CGI, the effects were incredible. It looked really cool, and like, you know, when Genie's like fucking introducing himself to Aladdin, and there's that whole "Never Had a Friend Like Me" song. The effects were cool. It looked dope, right? But they were just adding shit in there. Like, dude, now there's this whole part where fucking Jasmine wants to be the Sultan, but she can't because she's a woman. And then he's like, you can't do it. And then he tells the guards to take her to a room. And then they just added this whole new song about, I will not be silence. And it's like, that was not in the original movie. She didn't want to be a sultan. She just didn't want to be sold off to
the highest bidder.
To the highest bidder, right? But then it became about this weird, like, we're becoming a progressive Middle Eastern village. And now we're going to make you the sultan at the end. They added new songs in about her anguish at being a woman and not having. Look, I get the women's rights thing, but like that had nothing to do with Aladdin at all, right? Why are we cutting out other songs to put in bullshit songs?
So at the end, is she the Sultan and Aladdin's her bitch and she's a dominatrix?
Yeah. Well,
it's implied.
Yeah, that's implied. It's not explicitly stated, but she does become Sultan at the end.
Okay.
And there was just shit that there was fucking songs they didn't put in there. But there was other songs they did put in there that weren't in the original movie that were stupid as fuck. And I was like, come on now. And then fucking Jafar never turned into a giant snake. But he turned Iago into a fucking giant parrot. And the parrot didn't even talk either. It wasn't even a talking parrot.
All right, you had me there. Without Iago, it's nothing. It's nothing.
You can get Will Smith, but you can't fucking get Gilbert Gottfried again. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Shit.
We all know he needs work.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
That money's running low.
All right. Well, so I was never planning to see the live action Aladdin, but now I'm going to give it a hard pass for sure.
Give it a hard pass, bro. But the one thing I did like about it was the very first song in Aladdin. In the original movie, only has 5 lines, but it's like real catchy.
Yeah, these Arabian nights, Arabian days are hotter than hot in a lot of cool ways. Yeah,
it's like that, only good and like on key. But Will Smith did the song, but he added a bunch of lines, and it was like all long, and it was like a little montage of Aladdin being a thief with his live action monkey. The monkey was cool.
The monkey was the best part.
The monkey was for sure the best part.
Yeah. Now here's a trivia question. What is the monkey's name in the cartoon?
Abu.
Oh, okay. All right.
Super easy.
Come on.
How dare! Don't even try with the Aladdin trivia on me. Dude.
All right. Here's another tough one. What's the name of the young thief that goes on to become Jasmine's boyfriend?
James. James and the Giant Peach, I think that was called.
Yes. All right. Well, so don't see that. Got it. Now, we finished up. I mentioned that we had started watching Russian Doll. We finished it, and we found the ending to be disappointing, I think.
It was fabulous the whole way. It kept building on itself. It was really, but it is something, the story is complicated in such a nature that it would be hard to tie it up regardless. But still,
Were they setting it up for season 2?
No.
Yeah, it was like, but presumably it will be a season 2. And in season 2, I have a feeling they'll find out that it wasn't a happy ending in season 1.
Well, I think for season 2, they're going to have to do like all new characters, really.
Maybe.
Kind of like how Fargo did.
Yeah.
Fargo.
I didn't see that series. I hear it's a great series.
Oh my fucking god, dude! You have got to watch. Like, I heard the season kind of fell off at the end, but the first season with Billy Bob Thornton, holy shit, that was for reals, y'all. You have got to watch that. I think it's
Dad's evil alter ego. Billy Bob Thornton.
Dad's alter ego is Billy Bob Thornton.
His evil alter ego. His good alter ego is Jeff Goldblum.
Billy Bob Thornton does kind of look like a bizarro version of Dad. Yeah, I guess.
I disagree. I'm too fat. Billy Bob Thornton, even at my skinniest, Billy Bob Thornton is skinnier than I am.
I don't believe that's true. But
hey, bud, do you need to work on your self-image issues?
He does. I've been calling him chubby, and he's scared now.
Right.
No, it would help with that.
I was going to say going and throwing up in the bathroom again. I guess not.
Actually, a nice case of bulimia at Ziff's would be good for anyone.
That's not true, but I will say this, that if you want a meal that you're not going to go throw up, why don't you go on down to Ziff's? Fine dining in a relaxed continental atmosphere in Invercargill, New Zealand. Try their fresh koala bear and their freshly slain kiwi appetizer.
Do they eat each other? Is that
It's a cannibalistic restaurant. All right, you know what? The jig's up. Let's stop fucking pretending. Okay.
Anyway, it's a relaxed atmosphere down there at Ziff's in Invercargill, New Zealand. Then after your light, refreshing meal at Ziff's, head on over to the throne room. Heavy tattoos for, your tattooing needs. Right after your light, refreshing meal at Ziff's, also in Invercargill, New Zealand. Both of them proud sponsors of a Shin Show, proud fake sponsors of a Shin Show for nearly 100th of a century. All right.
Freshly slain kiwi.
Delicious.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, anyway, so thanks for bringing up the Ziffs. I forgot almost to work that in. Yeah, good job. Good job. So anyway, Russian Doll, worth a watch, but just be ready for an ending that, where you say at the end of it, I don't know, dog.
so? We
That's how I
finished.
felt about Wilfred, to be honest. Like, the ending was like, come on, for real, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to have a solid ending.
It is.
I mean, Breaking Bad did it, and
Yep.
that's like the only thing I can think of that really did it.
It's true. They stuck the landing on Breaking Bad, but there are not many series that managed to do that.
Yeah,
Still never seen the ending of Breaking Bad.
dude,
I saw every
Take-
episode up
take
until
the
like the
2
last 10
hours.
episodes.
take the 3 hours and finish it up.
It was, dude, I loved that show so much. I literally was just like, I'm not watching the ending. It's not ending.
You watch the ending and then watch Better Call Saul.
I did. I started watching Better Call Saul, actually, but I never finished
I mean,
that
it's not
either.
as good as Breaking Bad, but
It's harder to get into. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure
it
it gets a lot better. It's just harder to get into.
So we finished watching Chernobyl. It was only 5 episodes. It was pretty good.
Okay.
I would recommend that from a like a historical document or historical-ish. It's a dramatized historical documentary type thing. Whatever those things are called, that's what it was, and it was pretty good. It made me want to research more of it. Like, there was a podcast that they did, but Ben said they weren't very good. It wasn't very good, so I don't want to listen to that, but I'll find something that's better.
Hey, shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
Shouts out.
I
Even though I'm sure, I don't think he's listening anymore, but that's okay.
think he is, because he brings up stuff that we talk about
Yeah.
sometimes.
Okay, I'm sorry for my doubt, Ben. I should have had more
How
faith.
dare you?
Nick's murdering in the background, so watch the fuck out, Ben.
Yeah, right. Well, shout out to Ben and watch your back, Ben. Both at the same time. Also, hey, while we're at it, shout out to my friend Chris. He's at home in baby jail, taking care of a new baby.
Yeah, the reason why children ruin your life until they're adults, and then they're cool.
Yeah, I heard that if you've never been in a fire in a coal mine, then parenting is the worst thing that'll ever happen to you.
Pretty good. I like that.
Can confirm. I've been in both. All right. So anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
But then we started watching Handmaid's Tale, and boy, is that, you want to talk about
That's a
infuriating.
good show. That's a good show.
You know what? We watched a season and a half of Handmaid's Tale, but we found Offred to be off-putting. We found her choices to be somehow stupid. And
Are you talking
We
about
talked
the main
about that.
character?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Her face is a little off-putting, yeah. She's like kind of like just chronically ugly. You know what I mean?
Her shenanigans continued in season 3, but I'm hooked into it. I'm hooked into the side characters. There was a real tear-jerking moment in the middle of season 3, so they got me hooked.
That's how One Punch Man is. You get hooked into the side characters. You don't even care about One Punch Man anymore.
Well, because he's totally unremarkable except
Yeah.
for his
Yeah.
one punchiness.
Yeah, he's you just know that whenever he does eventually show up, it's gonna all be over. So like you're really invested in the side characters and stuff.
Yeah. Are they gonna be okay?
Yeah, good show.
So as much as I do want to punch Offred in the face because she's just annoying and dumb and I just don't like her face, besides that, there was some foreshadowing in season 1. I thought that the commander's wife was like eventually going to be like, fuck this shit. And I hear that is coming true in season 3.
It definitely started at the end of season 2, and yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going to go with it in season 3, but
You'll
She's-
soon find
she
out.
seems pretty sick of being the subjugated to
The whims of the commander.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, yeah, the constraints of the society that she helped build.
Yeah. Well done.
There was a really good, so at the end of season 2, there was a really good episode with Serena, who's the commander's wife, that I really enjoyed. Y'all should just pick it back up.
Well, we'll think
Your
about it.
copious amounts of free time.
Yeah, well, then that would require resubscribing to Hulu. So,
Oh, what? You're not subscribed to Hulu?
no, dog.
Freeloader.
We want
Wow.
to save that $7 a month. You know, we got a lot of things to spend it on.
Yeah, I don't know if you've met your father, but he's really into wasting like $40+ on a thing. But if there's like a repeated bill that comes in at about the $10 level, it is fucking onerous. Like,
Unacceptable.
cut that shit off.
That's not true.
Well,
We just weren't
Uncomfortable.
watching Hulu. That's the truth. We just weren't watching it. So, anyway.
Well, I
Well,
guess
I'm
it
not
just
gonna
doesn't have the
argue.
content that you like. That's fair.
Here's the content we're stuck on right now. We're finally to the last 5 episodes of The Sopranos. We've gone through 81 episodes and are now down to the last 5. It's very
So
exciting.
you're going to get rid of Amazon after that?
No, dog, we got a lot of stuff.
No, you should watch Animal Kingdom, bro. That's a good fucking show. Guy got me into that show.
Animals.
Yeah, the one that sounds like it's about animals, but it's actually not about animals at all.
The one you tell me to watch every week and I get confused every week, that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess could see how you could get confused on what it's about, but it shouldn't be confusing on the name or that I tell you to watch it.
Well,
you
it's
know.
not anymore because you tell me every fucking week. So
Hey, maybe you should
Well, maybe
start.
if you fucking do it, then I won't have to tell you every fucking week.
Hey, did you listen to the Bob Lazar podcast, Dad? Like you said you were going to?
Wait, before you answer that, I already know you didn't. So,
No.
no.
I heard him listening to it. I was
what did you think?
the sound of it just so that you could shut the fuck up.
I've been saying all week, I was like, I bet he's a bullshitter. Like, he just said that to get me to shut the fuck up. He's not going to fucking listen to it.
No,
Oh, you're real salty about this.
I
No.
was salty about it because I knew
true.
I could smell
I
the lie.
did listen to it. And I would say this about that, which is this, that perhaps it's all true, but so what? You know, at the end of
Well, yeah. Look, I say there's an equal probability that he's just making it all up as it is that any of that shit is true. Those are equally possible. And the one thing we do know is that only he knows the truth. Okay, so he could just
Or his version thereof.
yeah, whatever. But if even half of that shit he was saying was true, if it isn't even alien craft, it was just some real advanced technology that the government had that they, for whatever reason, wanted him to think was alien craft, doesn't matter. The technology he was describing that he was working with is fascinating to me.
He said he was only there for 6 months.
a year. He was there a year.
I thought it was 6 months.
He said, well, okay, I haven't listened to all of it. I'm only like a third of the way in, and the part I said he said that he was there for 6 months. There's not
He
a
might
lot
have
of
been
time
at
to
Area
do.
51 for 6 months
Maybe.
and then worked at Los Alamos for.
No, it was Site 4 for 6 months.
Whatever. That's not a lot of time to do all of the shit that he said that he got accomplished, especially when you're going in blind.
Well, he said sometimes people live like the hours were fucking crazy. You would like be there for 2 weeks,
Okay.
2 weeks on, 1 week off, shit like that.
Look, if Rick and Morty
I
have
don't
told us anything, it's that in the multiverse, it's both true and happened and happening in exactly the manner he spoke right now. And in other ones, he's lying. And in other ones, he's not even a thing.
Good point.
Morty show.
Yeah.
True. But however, the only thing about that is that we live in this reality, So
That's right.
So which one is it?
yeah, so which one is it? That's what I want.
Yeah, we're in C-147J. I don't know which one he's in, so yeah, hard to say.
I don't know. But it would be cool though, the way he was talking about look, really mainly when I say that technology, really just the ability to produce gravity. If he's
Yeah.
correct about
Sure.
that, it would be I guess if we had control over something like that, it would revolutionize.
If they ever released it to the public, sure.
Well, they're not going to release it. Hypothetically, if it even exists, they're not going to release it until they've mastered it.
And they're not going to master it until they release it. So, no,
Like
that's
self-licking ice cream cone.
right.
They're
And
not
so-
going to master it until they hire Elon Musk to take it over.
That's right.
Oh, good point. But in any event, the point is that I found it interesting. I did not feel like that podcast needed to be 2 hours and 24 minutes long.
I've started listening especially to Joe Rogan's shit at like 1.2, 1.3 speeds. Makes it way more tolerable.
That's a good idea right there. Good thinking.
Really?
Yeah.
Never even thought about that.
Oh, but lots of people.
Joe Rogan especially because he's like, there's lots of pauses and they're already talking slow because they're baked as fuck.
Yeah.
So speed it up to like regular fucking levels.
Well, I'm glad you listened to that one, Dad. Did you listen to that Paul Stamets one I've been telling you to listen to?
No, Paul Stamp.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah, okay, so we've talked about this several times, and I remember even the last time I went and visited you.
Bitchy did.
Hold on, listen. The last time I went and visited him, I was like, you gonna watch that video? And he's like, here, let me just save it in my YouTube list right now. Look, watch me do it. And he saved it in his YouTube list right there.
Yeah, but that was how many videos ago?
And then proceeded to never listen to it and forget it ever existed.
That video has to compete with his daily subscriptions to Late Night with Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers and all the other video shit that he watches in the morning first thing. So, I mean, it inevitably, because that dude came up with one thing one time, and these other dudes are daily, they're never going to...
Oh, hell, the thing is this dude didn't really just come up with one thing one time. He's a brilliant scientist who has a lot of work.
Shit.
Now, Elsie's going to tell you that I have saved in my downloaded episodes that episode. Still, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
At any time.
And has been for a year.
Yeah, a year. Okay, yeah. So a year since you were like, yeah, I'll download it and listen to it for sure. For sure.
All right, so I'll listen to it this week, and then you can chastise me next week.
He's
Yes,
never
I
going
will.
to come watch your T-ball game either, okay?
No one ever did.
Yeah.
I'm still salty about it. I carry that with me forever.
Right, sorry about that, son.
Get in line, bro.
Exactly.
Every action and word that I say.
Right. Think also, look on the bright side. Get in line. Yeah. I mean, your half-brother Noah, I never even met him until he was 15. So, there you go.
Saltiness in the children all around.
Yeah. Father of the year. Listen, if I didn't do all that shit to you, what reason would you have to go to therapy? Am I right?
That's
And
right.
everybody loves therapy.
Oh, they
It's
sure
fun.
do.
Look, if you all grew up in the same house and saw each other every day, would you even want to talk to each other now? Maybe, maybe not.
I don't know. Who knows?
It depends.
Yeah, it's an alternate universe. Anyway, let's not try any counterfactual history here. Let's just move on to sports. Actually, before we do that, though, let me just say this.
Which is that?
Which is this, that I listened to the new Raconteurs album this week. Recommended.
Yeah. You know what else I would recommend?
That was still a thing.
Well, I mean, they haven't come out with an album since 2011, I
remade into a
think,
thing.
or 2009. Anyway, the other thing that came out this week was the new Black Keys album.
Oh, I did not listen to that. Did you?
Oh, yeah, on repeat a couple times. It was pretty good.
All right. Very good. So new albums by the Raconteurs and the Black Keys, and both of them recommended. I will say this about the Raconteurs, and that's that Jack White really benefits from having some other musicians around him. Let me just say that. They help restrain his more radical impulses.
I
And
didn't realize that was Jack White.
oh, yeah, Jack White's in the Raconteurs. I asked Elsie, hey, who else is in the Raconteurs? She said, I don't know. I thought there were some other famous people in it. She said no.
We did, so something that happened last week, I think. I went to a live show called I Don't Know How, But They Found Me as the band.
Okay. I like that. I like a phrase for a band.
Yeah.
I thought
Kind of synth pop, I guess. I don't know. But it's a two-piece band, and the singer / bass player was in Panic at the Disco till 2011 when it became the Brandon Urie Show. And then the drummer was from an emo band that I liked way back in the day. So that was cool. As I was doing research shortly before the show, I was like, oh, I like these people for a reason. So anyway, they're a fun band to listen to. They only have like one EP and a couple singles out. So
And they're called I Don't Know How, But They Found Me.
yeah, it's a short listen.
Now, by the way, the Raconteurs' new album is called Help Me Stranger, or Help Us Stranger. Help Us Stranger. Yeah. And then what's the new album by the Black Keys called?
I don't know. Let's Rock, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I
It's
wouldn't
a
know.
shame he doesn't have Google in his hand.
Hold on, I'll look up real quick.
It's a race.
I got Spotify right here.
Black Keys. All right.
Low high? I think it's low high. No, let's rock. I was right. I was right the first time.
Let's Rock. There it is. Yeah. Packed with 12 instant classics, the Black Key new studio albums, Let's Rock, is now available everywhere. Listen now.
Well, I wasn't a huge fan of their album in 2014. I wasn't a huge fan of that one, but this one's way better.
If we're talking about new albums, Freddie Gibbs also just released a new album, Bandana. It's fantastic.
Who's Freddie Gibbs?
He's a
He's
rapper.
a rapper.
Oh, no kidding. And it's called Bandana.
Bandana.
Got it. Sounds good. Sounds real good.
Oh, it's insanely
I'd
hard.
like to see the Black Keys. Are going to be at the Anthem here in D.C. October 16th. It's the second of two nights. Presumably, the October 15th night is the first night. So come on down to the Anthem right here in Washington, D.C. Check out the Black Keys on October 15th and 16th.
There's a festival in Chicago, the end of July, beginning of August, that I'm thinking about going to. It's got a bunch of good alt emo bands that I want to go see.
Far out. Now, I will tell you that the Raconteurs will also be right here in Washington, D.C. at the Anthem on on August 17th. We might have to go do that.
Would recommend. That's kind of one of the things I'm trying to do this year is go see more shows.
Yeah, I think you should. You know, it's the year of the show. Really is. So you got any sporting news?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear.
There were fights last night, and Francis Ngannou fucking knocked Junior Dos Santos out in under 30 seconds?
I called it.
It was
I
some
walked
bullshit.
up there and I was like, yeah, Francis Ngannou is going to knock Junior Dos Santos out in the first 30 seconds of the first round.
And he did.
And then Murph said, are you sure? Really? That's what you're going to say? And then I was like, and then to be fair, to be honest and true to the fans out there, I rescinded my statement and said, okay, maybe it'll be 30 seconds into the second round. And then I turned out to be right the first time.
Well, so you were right. So would you call that a starching?
No, he didn't starch him. Like, 'cause it was like a TKO. He wasn't knocked out. He just got hit in the head and covered up.
Yeah, he
And then
turtled
he just
up.
kept hitting him and he turtled up.
Yeah, so he
If he
couldn't.
starched him, let me explain this to you since you seem to have a very hard time comprehending what this
No, I totally understand. I didn't know. I didn't see the fight. So I'm just asking the question.
Well, let me just explain it anyway. If he starched him, he would have hit him and he would have gone stiff as a board onto the ground.
Yeah.
So Drew Dober is a fighter from Omaha who fought on the main card, and he won his fight. But here's my prediction for Drew Dober is that he comes out as gay within the next 2
Why
years.
do you say that? Just because he's chiseled from the hand of God herself?
Because I heard him talk.
Oh, I see. So he set off your gaydar. Wow. What a discriminatory statement right there.
It's not discriminatory if it comes from within the community.
I feel like that shouldn't be right.
I agree. I say discrimination is discrimination.
It's not discrimination. How am I discriminating against him? By putting a label on him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Discrimination?
Yes.
Exactly. Let him label
No.
himself.
No.
You're discriminating against the way he talks and thusly labeling him gay.
But am I treating him any differently?
I don't know, Doug. Are you?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know.
No, actually, it makes me support him even more. Go home, boy, Drew Dober.
Well, yeah, I support Drew Dober. Congratulations.
It's from the hand of God,
He
though.
is fucking just jacked to the gills. It's insane. That guy's got the perfect body. But anyway.
I mean, I'm not saying you're gay, but if you were gay, you would.
I'm not gay, but if you wanted me to go down on him.
Well, what am I going to say? No?
Yeah, what am I going to say? No? He's a UFC fighter. I'm in a pretty tight spot that,
As it were, so to speak. Well,
maybe he feels like I owe him a little. What am I going to do? Fight him off?
not likely.
Don't fucking think so.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out on this show, Nick. That's special.
Oh, is that what just happened? Did I miss it? Did I blink and miss it?
I guess.
You weren't
I guess
paying
if someone
attention.
says that's what's happening, then that's what's happening.
I don't know.
Counter the narrative, then that's what's going to be put into.
Okay, I'm countering the narrative. I'm officially putting my form in for countering the narrative.
Right.
I'm submitting it to your manager, HR.
Right. All right. So yeah, Nick did not come out, but he did admit that if he was going to go down on anybody, it'd be on this guy.
Well, that's not exactly how I worded it. I'm just saying, like, you know, if we were both in a bar and then I went to the pisser and then he followed me in there and then kind of like blocked the door, it was like, yeah, you're not getting out of here till you suck this ween. Then I'm like,
Little
what do I do?
rapey.
I
What
was
the
gonna
fuck
say,
do I do?
it's rape. I don't know if it really matters if it's hetero or homosexual rape.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks for saving me, Elsie. I kind of just walked into that. I didn't know how to get out.
That was discrimination.
Right.
I guess. Not really. That's just a hypothetical. It could be anybody. Look, I would have the same reaction whether it's Drew Dober, whether it's fucking John Jones, whether it's Chuck Liddell,
Would it have come up with John Jones?
whether it's Brock Lesnar and nothing but Timberlands and a fucking and dog ears. You just hear from the distance, Brock, fuck, and then slowly, Brock, fuck, and then he just busts through the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Brock, fuck, no. What do you do?
Slit your own throat.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
In front of him.
Oh, this has been
That stops him.
This is heartwarming material right here. All right. All right. So, other sporting news of a different flavor: the women's soccer team, women's U.S. soccer team, defeated France 2-1 in the round of 8. They move on to the final 4, where they will play England on July 2nd. They will undoubtedly thrash England and move into the finals. Go U.S. women's soccer team. USA, 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 USA.
Thrashing Britain on July 2nd is the thing that we do here.
Right.
If only it were on the 4th. Wouldn't that be great?
Totally.
It was really passed on the 2nd, and then they celebrated the 4th. But look, that's not the point.
It
I
is
guess, yeah.
far from it. And actually, we'd already been at war with them for over a year at that point. April 1775 is when we started getting it on.
But still, it'd be cool if the women's soccer team defeated the British soccer team on July 4th.
It would be, but it's July 2nd, so maybe they could drag the game out.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Make it last just have it be a tie for like 40 hours until it runs into July 4th.
Yeah, just make it a 40-hour overtime.
Right.
Like quintuple decahedron overtime.
Right. I bet they could arrange that because they're that damn good.
Yeah.
That's how good they are.
If you want it, if you really care.
Right. They probably don't. Anyway, they're hell of a team, and they've looked real good. The worst they looked was against Spain. France was considered the only team that could seriously challenge the United States, and they didn't do it. They went down 2-0, and then they scored a late goal but couldn't come back all the way, and the U.S. moves on 2-1 to face England on July 2nd.
Which is interesting because we all know that as a globe, soccer is a big deal, and America sucks at it when it comes to men's soccer. So the fact that women's soccer in the U.S. has become this explosion actually has a lot of European clubs looking at how to make their women's soccer mirror more closely the style of the U.S. women's soccer team. So interesting situation there.
It is, because our men's soccer team has been a dumpster fire for decades. But our women's team has been the dominant women's soccer team for decades. So there you go.
It's yin and yang.
Right.
Look, we got to win somewhere, right?
That's right. Winning. All we do is win. All right. If you're the women's U.S. soccer team, that is. Okay, so any other sporting? I think, didn't Kawhi Leonard get traded to the Lakers, making them instantly super
1,000%.
better? Yeah. I think that happened.
Lakers, is that basketball?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
bad.
that's basketball.
None of us care about it, but I just thought I would throw it out there because it's a
College
thing.
World Series ended.
Yeah, I hear that Vanderbilt won, didn't they?
They were definitely in the final game.
Yeah. They beat Michigan in the final. In the finals.
Like into the ground, is if I recall correctly. It's like 8-2 or something.
Well, go Vandy. Good for them. I mean, the Vanderbilt Commodores, they don't win a lot of championships.
I'm just glad that shit's over with, dude.
Traffic.
Traffic, tourists.
Yeah. It's by the way, for those who don't know, the College World Series is in Omaha, and I'm not saying that you two live in Omaha because I would never disclose your location. But in the event that you do live in Omaha, it's a bitch. It is.
Yeah.
There's a million people in there, and a lot of tourists. Yeah. A lot of rowdy people, a lot of rowdy baseball fans,
Yeah.
drunk.
Inebriated.
Yeah. All right, good. Well, all right. Are we missing anything, kids?
Nah.
Nah, dog. All right. Well, any big plans for the upcoming week?
Just go see that Midsummer movie. I'm excited for it.
Okay, gonna see that.
We're
Good.
gonna go see Toy Story.
Oh, Toy Story 4. I hear it's good.
You just remember what your old pal said. Yeah, you got a friend. All right, that's enough.
Very good. That's sounds just like whoever that guy was.
It was just
Yeah, you.
stop.
Yeah. I think I did a pretty good job singing that Aladdin song.
Of course you think that.
Yeah.
All right.
Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababwa. All right. Right.
Strong as 10 regular men, definitely.
Hey, so what we're doing is for July 3rd, we're having some friends over, going to go see some fireworks. So, it's a big fourth deal. That's what we're doing.
Celebrate the trouncing of the women's British soccer team.
Yeah, it's French.
Yeah, well, that they just beat
Oh.
the French. Now they move on to England on July 2nd.
Okay, I see.
I just wanted to say trouncing
Solid trouncing.
or drubbing.
Right,
Very British of you.
right. And so we're going to do that, and then that's really.
Oh, wait, there's one more thing. I thought of a good line for my fortune cookie business.
Oh,
Ready?
the set of flavored fortune cookies?
Yeah. Here's a good fortune. If you are desperate and have a rock, magic can happen.
Right. That's good. You can just keep those down, because if we don't use them for fortune cookies, we can use them for T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. All
Cool.
right.
All right. Good show, kids.
GBR.
A Shin Show is a production of Shinfluence and features the voices and opinions of the Shin family, which are exclusively their own. It's brought to you on a fake basis by Zips, fine dining in Invercargill, New Zealand, and by our daughter Sarah's Sneezes. And it's also brought to you by The Throne Room Heavy Tattoos, also in Invercargill, New Zealand, and also a fake sponsor of Zips along with Zips of a Shin Show for nearly a quarter of a billionth of a century. In any event,
It's so typical.
what's that?
So
What
go to
happened
some
was-
little brother shit.
Let me just disclose that I was fucking with some equipment, and then it made a noise, and then Dad blamed it on Sarah, and then I laughed at her because I framed her.
Yeah, that's very, very sibling right there. I thought it was you. I thought you were sneezing, Sarah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Who sneezes like a spring?
Yeah, it was two springs like just flying off of each other.
Yeah. Sounds just like a sneeze to me. Yeah.
All right, well,
Okay.
I can't fault your hearing.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You know what you didn't say this week, Sarah, that I thought you were going to say? Go fuck yourself, because that's what you were supposed to say this week. Remember?
Oh, Nick, go fuck yourself.
All right, good. No. Be sure and tune in next week when we'll hear Nicholas say,
I went and fucked myself.
With a UFC fighter.
oh. All right. We'll see you next week, kids. I love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.